let me save you some time and frustration from doing what a lot of new drayage carriers do. They find out they need a TWIC card, a SCAC code, UIIA registration, port access, and chassis approval. And then they start filling out applications in whatever order they Google them. Then they get stuck. The UIIA application asks for a SCAC code. The port registration asks for a TWIC number. And now they are jumping from website to website trying to figure out what they missed. The problem isn't that they don't know what they need. Most times they just did the steps in the wrong order. So pull out your 5 steps to hauling checklist, because in this training, I want to walk you through the order I recommend for getting drayage ready. Hey fam, welcome back. Before we jump in, let me tell you why I teach this. I operated both a drayage company and freight brokerage for over 7 years. I've been through this process personally. I've completed the forms, the registrations, dealt with the headaches, fixed some mistakes, and helped other carriers understand this process as well. Everything I teach comes from real-world experience over here, not just Googling what requirements I need. And yes, this is my AI clone. Using a clone helps me create more training without having to set up lights and cameras every time. But the experience, the training, and the voice is all mine. In the first training, we talk about the 5 requirements you need in place before you can haul containers. In this training, we'll put those 5 requirements from the checklist in order and perspective. This time, I want to show you how the pieces connect and how we can put the checklist to work, because drayage readiness is not just about having a bunch of credentials. One step usually supports the next. So when you're trying to skip ahead, you can end up with incomplete applications, delays, and a lot of frustration. Think of this as your roadmap. TWIC card first, then SCAT, then UIIA, then your port registrations, and finally your chassis and equipment access. So the first thing I recommend starting is the TWIC card application. And the reason is simple. That process takes the most time. It can take up to 30 days to get your TWIC card in the mail, and that's after your in-person appointment. You do not want to get excited about hauling containers and then realize you are still waiting on the credential needed to even get inside the port. A TWIC card belongs to an individual driver, not to the trucking company itself. So every driver who needs access to secure ports and terminal facilities will need their own TWIC card. Having a TWIC card is one of the main credentials you will need when you start registering with ports and terminals. So start this one early and let it work in the background while you move on to the company level credentials. Next, you want to get your SCAC code. Your SCAC code is the code that identifies your company in the intermodal space. You're going to see it come up over and over again. The UIIA will require you to have it. Ports and terminals will ask for it. Steamship lines, rail facilities, and equipment providers all use it to identify your company. You don't need a SCAT code to apply for your TWIC card, but you do need your SCAT in place before you can smoothly go through the next several registrations. So while your TWIC card is processing, go ahead and get your SCAT code taken care of. Once your SCAT is active, then you can move on to your UIIA participation. This is where a lot of new carriers get confused. The UIIA is the part of the process that connects your company's insurance to the equipment required to haul containers. Your insurance agent will submit your insurance coverage electronically to the UIIA. Then your insurance is compared to the insurance requirements of the equipment providers. If your insurance coverage meets the equipment provider's requirements, then you are generally approved with that provider. But remember what we talked about in the chassis training. Just because you are active in the UIIA does not mean you are approved with every container or chassis provider out there. You still need to verify the providers you are actually approved to work with. but you can't really start finalizing that equipment access until your UIIA registration is active. That's why this step comes before chassis registration, but after you have your SCAC code. Now, after that, you can start working through Port Authority registrations for the ports that you will be operating out of. When you register with a state port authority, it gives you access to both the seaports and the inland ports or rails in that state. Each port authority has their own requirements for motor carrier registration, but you will need to register your company, your truck, and the driver. This is where the TWIC and the SCAC start coming together. The TWIC gives your driver the secured access credential, and the SCAC code gives your company the intermodal identifier. Now you can start connecting both of them to the facilities where you plan to work out of. Now, the last part of the foundation is making sure you can actually access the equipment needed to move a container. This means identifying the chassis providers and chassis pools used in your area. It also means confirming that your company is approved with the equipment providers you may need. You may have to register with a local chassis pool or reservation system. And this is not something you want to figure out the morning of the load. You do not want your driver sitting at the gate while you are trying to complete an equipment provider's application on your phone. By the time you get to this step, your SCAC code should be in place, your UIIA participation should be active, and your insurance information should be submitted. Now you are in a better position to get the chassis approvals you need for your shipment. So let's bring it all together. Start the TWIC process first because it will take the longest. Next, get your SCAC code because you will need it for several of the registrations that come after it. Don't worry, you should receive your SCAC code the very same day. Then complete your UIIA registration so your insurance and equipment provider approvals can start moving. After that, register your company, trucks, and drivers with the specific ports and terminals and rail facilities where you plan to operate. And finally, confirm your chassis provider, the pool, and reservation system access. This is the order I recommend. And once these pieces are in place, you have built your structural foundation, which is the phase 1 of the Port to Profit framework. But let me be clear, that does not mean you are ready to start saying yes to every container load that comes your way. It just means you're ready for the next step. And the next step is learning how to look at a shipment, understand how much it's really going to cost, identify the risks, and build a quote that protects your profit. This is where phase 2 of the framework comes in, which is revenue engineering. Because having the credentials means you may be able to move the container, but it does not mean you know whether the load will be profitable. Before you move on, take the free Drayage Readiness Assessment. It takes less than 5 minutes, and it will show you whether your foundation is solid or whether there is still a gap that you need to close. Thanks for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in phase 2.